Hey YouTube, Ryan Knight here. Went through and was looking through a few of my old videos, seeing if I wanted to delete any of them, like if any of them were just vastly unpopular that have been around for a while, and just whatever, just seeing if I could clear it up a little bit. But rewatched one of them, the do as I say while I do the opposite video. And I said I was going to go ahead and bring up that thought. Well, I still remember that thought, and so here's your video. Now, what the thought was with the bachelor tax, how would that affect guys who are divorced? Like honestly. Like if you go ahead, you get married, you're not having to pay the bachelor tax, then you get divorced, you lose half your shit, you lose half your fucking paycheck, maybe more if you got kids involved, so you lose at the very least 70% of your fucking paycheck, and then all of a sudden, do you have to pay a bachelor tax because you're not married now? Technically, you're a bachelor. That's one of the big things it's always said, like, guy gets divorced, it's all like, oh, you're a bachelor again, awesome, how you liking the bachelor life now? Oh, it fucking sucks. Fucking sucks because now I'm living the bachelor life with a married cost around my neck. But how would that affect guys who are divorced? Would the only way to avoid the bachelor tax to either go out, get married to a woman, get married to another guy, or go out, get married to a woman, and then get instantly fucking divorced so she doesn't get half your shit? Basically get an annulment or whatever. I don't think they would count annulment, because at that point it would be you gaming the system, and they can't have that. But they're not going to sit there and say, oh no, married gay guys have to pay a bachelor tax, because we know the shit show that the SJWs would fucking throw out. So at least they would be defending a defense for straight guys. But then they'd sit there and go, no, you'd have to prove that you're gay in some way, and just whatever. Which then gay guys would be all like, really? I have to out myself? I can't sit there and go and get a nice little quiet marriage, and us be married and not be out for the public to come after us, the evil white straight men that you guys tell us about. You're wanting us to go into harm's way to stop them from using the system to avoid this bullshit tax that you're throwing at them. Sorry, I know I kind of went a little all over the place with that, but I can just see a whole mesh of problems with that. So the government would be all like, yeah, let's not go down that road. That's too many problems even for us to try to cover up. But, but honestly, would a man who's divorced have to pay bachelor tax? And if that was the case, what would be their reasoning for it? Especially if he's not the one who initiated the divorce. If the woman initiated the divorce, then at that point, it's all like, all this is doing is just tacking on to his financial ruin. It's all like, oh yeah, you have to pay this bachelor tax. All right, how much is the bachelor tax? Oh, 20% of your income. All right, so I've got 50% of my income going to alimony, 10 to 20% going to child support, and then I got another 20%. So I get 10% of the money that I fucking work for? 10 to 20% of the money that I work for? Fuck you, I'm gonna go ahead and be homeless. Because I can't afford anything. I'm sure shit not gonna spend the rest of my life fucking working. I'm gonna go out into the woods and fucking disappear. As the MGTOWs that will have been ostracized from society by that point will be sitting there at the edge of the woods going, come on, dude, get out while the getting's good. You have nothing else to fucking lose. Come on, join the fold. But, and I joke about that, but let's be honest. We're not that far off from it. I mean, especially with as pissed off as feminists are at the MGTOW movement and how far out of the way some of these MGTOWs are going to piss them off, which I can't blame them. You know, it's fun shit pissing off a feminist until, you know, she goes after your job. That's not fun anymore. Especially because you can't go after her job because, you know, her company is an overtly feminist company and there's not very many overtly MGTOW companies. Oh yeah, it's because it's illegal to be. Yeah. But anywho, not going to go off on that rant as much as I want to. But I also want to know how they can go ahead and reconcile the whole there shall be no law specifically against a group of people and then have to pass a law legalizing extra taxation of men who are single. I don't get this. I don't understand it. And, I mean, that would be really shitty for a guy that just turns 18. That would be so shitty. Not to mention, do they really think that that's going to increase the dating rate? I mean, hell, dating's already expensive as fuck. You know, and women are sitting there going, oh, well, a guy should have to pay for the first date because, you know, posterity. It's all like, fuck posterity. You're breaking every other bit of it. You're breaking every other bit of fucking tradition, yet you want all the fucking traditions that benefit you to still be in play. Fuck off. The more I look at it, the less I want to fucking date, and the less issue I have with porn and jerking off. Good God. And now I can see why women are so trying to hit prostitution. I understand now. They are fucking terrified of prostitutes because the prostitution business would be booming right now if there weren't laws against it. I mean, hell, I kind of want to go ahead and check and see the freaking bunny or chicken ranches, whatever you want to fucking call them, over in Nevada. I want to fucking check into that shit. See, you know, how much their business has increased since all this feminist bullshit started. Something tells me they've been on a steady incline. They're probably expanding. Probably expanding at about the same rate as a feminist waistline. But, yeah, that's right. It's a fatty calling feminist fat. That means you are fucking fat. I mean, hell, yeah, I may be fat, but at least I carry my weight well. I carry my weight where it's supposed to be. You know where your fat's supposed to be, ladies? On your ass, on your hips, maybe your thighs a little bit, and your tits. That is where your fat is supposed to be. And also, the cheeks. But the fact is, it's all like, when you look at some of these feminists, especially the ones that are sitting there and so against prostitution, you understand. You just have to look at them and go, yeah, I understand why you're so against prostitution. Because the thing is they're being paid to put out. You want to be paid to not put out. Yeah, that's not a good investment for a guy. Either way, it's not a good investment for a guy. But at least with the first option, they're getting something out of it. And it's a guaranteed they're getting something out of it. There's that evil cost-benefit analysis. I know y'all hate that shit. But yeah, if y'all go ahead and get a bachelor tax pushed through, I guarantee you women maybe 10 years afterward are going to be sitting there going, not where have all the good men gone. It'll be where have all the men gone? Period. Like, why is it a man, you know, if I sit there and I even mention dating, all of a sudden you got that cartoon situation where the guy is gone and there's just the outline of his shape in dust. You know, just poof, gone. You know, with the doors to the building missing and the manager sitting there going, oh, chick asked a guy out again. I mean, honestly, that's what we're looking at pretty soon. I mean, the guys are going to start running from that shit. Because it's all like, dude, no. I'm not going to sit there, pay this bachelor tax, date you for 4 or 5 fucking years, then fucking marry you just so you can divorce me 4 years later, throw me back into the fucking bachelor tax with less than half of my money intact. After you drove up my debt and fucked my credit. No, guys aren't going to do that. They're going to be all like, no, anytime I need it, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to save up. And, you know, every 6 months or so, I'm going to head to Nevada. Going to get my rocks off. And everything in between is going to be porn. A lot of free porn sites out there. You know? I can sit there, have a dedicated sock for the shit so I don't accidentally put it on and it's actually a boot instead of a fucking sock. Maybe I should have at the beginning of this put, hey, this video is not PG-13. But no, seriously, it's... I want to know what the end game is. It's all like, are you just trying to make it to where men don't want anything to do with women? Period. End of story. Like, just being in the same room as a woman is the most terrifying thing to a man. It's like throwing them in naked other than a fucking stake stapled to their fucking cock into the same room as a lion that hasn't eaten in 3 weeks. I mean, is that what you want? Because at this point, that's what you're getting. You know, you're already starting to see it with the MGTOW movement starting to move to younger and younger demographics. We're seeing that shit in Australia. I've been seeing that shit here where I live. We're getting reports of it from fucking Europe. I mean, it's just continuous now. So, you've already started driving men away from not just women, but from basic society. How long do you think that this can last? For you. Not for the men. The men have outlets. Because there are plenty of women out there that are willing to sell sex. As much as you fucking hate that. And the thing is the more you call them out on it, and then go to a fucking slut walk after slut shaming, the more people are going to look at you and go, these people don't need to be listened to. It's just one of those aspects now. So don't even. How about you stop trying to pass sexist laws? How about you stop trying to get that shit pushed through? Because the thing is go ahead. I would love for a feminist to go ahead, make a fucking list of the laws that feminists are trying to get passed through here in America. Whether it be on a state level or on a federal. One moment. Sorry, there was a street cleaner coming down the street, and I know you guys didn't want to fucking listen to that, although it's probably only about half as annoying as my voice. But, since you're here, obviously you like some level of abuse. But, well, at least if you listen to the left, it's abuse. But, it doesn't even have to be a feminist. You know, just someone who's been paying attention, who actually has the links and all that. Go ahead, put the links in. I'll go ahead and okay them after I've checked them out and made sure that they're actually legit. But go ahead and do that. Oh my god, this street cleaner's just killing me. Be back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Street cleaner decided to go down one of the streets and then come back up and go by as slow as humanly possible. But go ahead, send me some links to, you know, some of the stuff that these feminists are trying to go ahead and get past. I will be more than happy to rip each and every one of them apart and tell you exactly what's going to happen societally. Exactly how men are going to go ahead and react to that shit when they fucking learn about it. And now that men are actually keeping an eye on this, guys are going to fucking know. They're going to hear about it. Word of mouth is a deadly fucking thing to you right now. No wonder why y'all want so much censorship. But don't take this as me being completely aggressive towards feminists. In fact, there's a few feminists that I still talk to that are actually pretty legit, that they have their legit concerns. Like my cousin's sister-in-law. Perfect example. You know, she's one of those feminists that isn't really... she isn't a man-hater. She's one of those ones... She understands that men have their own problems, that that women don't necessarily have it worse than men, but she's more about the empowerment of women, the continued empowerment of women, which I can get behind. But the thing is when you talk to her about men's issues, she actually fucking listens. And she goes, yeah, no, that's definitely something that needs to be addressed. And then she comes back crying a few hours later after talking with another one of her feminist friends and them sitting there and calling her a traitor and that sort of thing, for her sitting there and going, hey, maybe we should address this. You know, maybe if we start addressing men's issues, even at a quarter of the rate that we address women's issues, maybe if we start trying to get those changes, people won't look at us as man-haters anymore. You know, because there are these injustices being done towards men. And she'll come back crying because they'll sit there and just tear into her. You know? Kind of a, how dare you talk to a man, you filthy whore. That's basically what they fucking do. So to me, it's amazing that she still even identifies as a fucking feminist. I don't know what she would identify as. She can't really identify as egalitarian because she doesn't think this shit on her own. She has to have it brought to the forefront of her mind. Now, to a degree, I can understand it, but I mean, it's some of the most basic shit. Like, she has to have shit explained to her in the same type of way that you have to have a grade schooler have something explained to them. You know, you have to go ahead and go, here's the black and white of it. Here's what can change, you know, and that sort of thing. And by the end of it, you see the smoke coming out of the ears. Not from rage, but just from the gears grinding to a halt. So, let's go ahead and be honest about this. I'm not completely anti-feminist. I'm not. I'm anti-third and fourth wave feminist. If you are a second wave feminist, awesome. If you're like a first wave feminist, get the fuck away from me. First wave feminists were just as much of a cancer. The second wave feminists were the only ones that had any semblance of sanity. But that was because they were more based off of what the women's rights movement was before feminism got... what it was before feminism got its claws into it. They're more about that sort of shit, which I'm all for. But you know what? The first wave feminists, if you sit there and say that they weren't man-haters, good fucking luck. Go ahead and look up some of the old videos. Just for first wave feminists, go ahead and look up some of those old videos that were taken. You'll see what I'm saying once you actually look at it through that. You know, now that you know where feminism has led to, go ahead and look at that and sit there and go, how in the hell did people take this seriously to begin with? Son of a bitch. That was where stupidity started. But, or hell, just look up actual feminist history. Like, actually go ahead, Go out, read some of those initial feminist books that they still sit there and say, oh, every feminist should read this. Go out and read one of those books. Tell me you're not sick to your stomach by the end of it. And not from you sitting there and going, oh my God, women have been treated so bad. But just from the sheer amount of bullshit that you just swallowed. But back to the original topic. Bachelor tax. Not a good idea. That will absolutely demolish men's interest in women. You're going to start seeing a whole lot of men marrying men just to get out of that shit. You're going to have that sort of shit. And guess what? At that point, all of a sudden, now you're in a situation where these guys are married to each other. So they can't get married to a woman. So that just took 2 guys out of the equation. That could have been potential partners for these women. Right? These guys are still going to want sex. And if they're not bi, then they're not exactly going to be interested in one another. So they're going to be going out and taking part in the hookup culture. But then they can sit there and if it really comes down to it, them go, no, I'm gay. I have this piece of paper stating that I'm gay. I am legally gay. What would I want with her? Oh, I was drunk? Oh, well, the thing is if I was drunk, then I couldn't have given consent, right? And obviously it shows that I would not, at a normal time, be interested. You're going to see a whole lot of that shit going down, and there's a whole lot of lawyers that are willing to lie through their fucking teeth. So guess what? And then if all of a sudden the law changes to where, oh, this only counts for women, all of a sudden people are gonna lose their shit. They're gonna be all like, no, that's actually a fucking war on men. That is a law that is literally saying that it is all right for a woman to rape a man. And you are going to get some of the honest SJWs, which there are some of them, that honestly are looking for some level of equality. They're just severely misguided. You're going to get those going, no, we are wanting equality. This is moving in the wrong direction. You're saying that men deserve no protection. That is not okay. In fact, we've already started seeing that exodus. As more and more of these people are being introduced to this information and them going, no, that can't be true, that can't be true. And then they go ahead and actually do some research for once in their fucking life. And they're all like, oh shit. Well, I can't be a part of this movement that's bringing this shit about. I can't be a part of a movement that's got this stink associated with it. Fuck that noise. And so then they end up sitting there and saying, oh, I'm egalitarian. And then all of a sudden they notice the plus at the end. And they're like, no, I'm not. I'm just a person with an opinion. I refuse to identify as anything anymore. And then you get those that go the full deep end that sit there and go, you know what? Fuck it. I identify as an attack helicopter. And speaking of which, I'm just going to go ahead and bring this up. I love the whole Kekistan thing. I absolutely love that shit. I laugh my ass off every time I see something referencing it. It is the funniest fucking thing. It was amazing that BuzzFeed got fucking suckered in on the shit. It was fantastic. And then they ended up taking it down. When are these companies and news outlets gonna realize that once something's on the internet, it's there? You deleting it is gonna mean jack shit nothing because it's archived somewhere. I don't get this. It doesn't make sense. But no, whatever. You know, it's one of those things. But no, I'm absolutely astounded at how big that thing is getting, and it is the funniest fucking shit. I mean, it is the best satirical meme that's out there at this time, in my opinion. If you have a better one, go ahead and link it down in the description. I would love to see it, but it's going to be hard to beat the whole Kekistani thing. If you don't know what the whole Kekistan thing is, go ahead, look it up. It'll give you a good laugh. I don't care what side you're on. Well, I guess maybe the far left isn't going to appreciate it all that much, because they're going to be sitting there and getting all up in arms and saying, look at all these racist motherfuckers. It's all like, how is that racist? It's making fun of your bullshit arguments. And hell, you can definitely tell that they are not left-wing, not because of the arguments that they're making, but because of the fact that they make your own arguments better than you do. This is not a left-friendly channel. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. If you're a leftist that somehow managed to find their way on my channel, this is not the place for you unless you are actually willing to have a discussion and actually be fair about shit. And actually be able to, back up your statements. So, go ahead, put any comments you want down in the bottom. What do you think the government would end up doing if they did pass a bachelor tax? Do you think that it would be for guys who don't have kids, guys who have never been married? Do you think that they would be stupid enough to have it affect guys who are divorced, especially given the divorce statistics? What do you think the government would do at this point? And if they do pass a bachelor tax, how much a year do you think it would be? How much expendable income or earning potential do they think that they can milk guys for before guys just say fuck it and stop paying taxes altogether? Go ahead and let me know. I would love to hear your comments on it, hear your thoughts. If you're coming here just to go ahead and post some bullshit about how what I'm saying is damaging society and all that, fuck off, honestly. Because the thing is more than likely at that point you're one of those people that's probably advocating for shit that's going to cause a lot more damage to society than I could ever fucking say in my lifetime. Have yourselves a great day, except for the people that I just mentioned. You can go ahead and have a fucked off day. You can go ahead and jump out in front of a car for all I care. Get the fuck out of here. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.